and microphones on this call. So that is why I'm late. I apologize. Welcome to Office Hours. I'm going to mess around with this camera here just a little bit more while we get this show on the road. And hopefully we're going to have ourselves a future setup here that is going to work. I've got, like I said, some various technology that I'm messing with. And the idea behind this is that I would like to be able to do these calls anywhere. Oh, mic issues. Let's see here. How about now? Can you hear me now? You can hear me. Echo sounding. Got it. Okay. How is this now? Is this any better? This is better now? Okay, cool. I think, accidentally. So I've got some wireless mics I'm testing. I've got the mic on the computer, the mic on the phone or camera. I think I'm just going to stick with, so we don't delay this any longer, I'm going to stick with the, okay, I think I'm going to stick with the camera on the computer. And I think we're good. Let me know if you guys have any problems hearing me. And then let me just adjust this camera real quick. I'll be right back. You can see here some of the new apartment. Still got lots to do to get settled in. Still waiting on furniture to get delivered, things to hang on the wall, all that good stuff. But we're getting there. All right, a little bit better there. Let's go even closer. Cool. The minimalist look. Yeah, exactly. I know. I got to get some stuff on the walls back there. Although I actually do like a minimalist look, so it probably won't be too crazy either way. I kind of like to keep things simple. It keeps feel like if I get too much on the walls or I get it too cluttered or anything like that, it starts to mess with my brain. All right, everybody. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Welcome to Office Hours. As I said, you can see here, doing a little bit different approach while we get settled into the new place. And yes, exactly, Alvin. That's right. Let it be an example for you. We're still doing the calls. It is raw footage. Awesome. Yes, still settling into the new apartment. In fact, handyman just walked out the door, you can't see it over on the other wall, TV hung up, getting some furniture put together for my daughter, things like that. So we're moving, but obviously I appreciate your patience and dealing with me while we're testing some new setup and stuff like that. I'm going to do, Michael says no video and no sound. Is that true, or is that just Michael? Nope. Okay. Video and sound is fine. Okay. Michael Randolph, you're the problem. Only kidding, Michael. Okay. Welcome to Office Hours. This is the last Office Hours before the HighLevel Summit. I hope to see some of you there. I know not everybody can make it, but I would love to see as many as you can. I'm looking forward to it. Head to Dallas on Monday and come back Friday. So going to be there the whole week. And I'm just looking forward to it. I love it. Each year, it is a phenomenal event. They raise the bar every year, both in terms of the people that are there, the production quality behind it. I mean, everything is just fantastic. And they treat us really, really well. The food is really good. It's a new hotel this year. I'm excited to check that out. And they always have, like I said, just lots of activities, fun, parties, all that good stuff. They've got a cold plunge this year, so you'll see me in the cold plunge. The hotel has a lazy river and has a swim up bar. So something tells me there's going to be some shenanigans, which is good. So, yes, we will have a small group mastermind. Anybody that is there from the community, and I usually invite some other folks that I just meet there as well. We will do a little mastermind as soon as the main event is over. So the main event ends Thursday afternoon. We'll do a mastermind right after that, where we will get together, recap our key takeaways, key action items as we leave. Just to give you that opportunity to get locked in and focused on what you're going to do post-event. So if you are there, look out for an announcement. I will post in the group. We'll send out an email as well. And like I said, if you're there, we would love to see you. Okay. Office hours. If this is your first office hours, then this is a slightly different environment and setup than usual. But these calls are pure Q&A. So I'm just here to help however I can. I don't have any agenda otherwise. And so any questions that you have, you can just feed them into the comments here on the side, and I will answer them as they come. And then I am also going, awesome, Carlos, love it. I am also going to put in here a link, and you can join me on camera if you like. So if you have anything to talk about that's a little bit longer, a little bit more complicated, needs more context, needs more conversation back and forth than is easy to do in the chat, then just hop on there and we'll do it. Okay. So let's see here. First question. I love this. Look at this. Luke, what a stud. 18, just started Go High Level and just got my first client. I love that, man. Awesome, Luke. Congratulations. That's fantastic, man. I wish at 18 I was getting started with an opportunity like this. So you got the whole world in front of you, a whole life in front of you, just endless opportunities. We are living in the most exciting time to be an entrepreneur right now. It's just crazy. So get out there and get after it. Work your tail off. Let us know how we can help. All right. Custom GPT with all your courses and resources in it would be badass. Just saying. Travis, so give me a little bit more on that, because I actually just was talking with Josh on my team today. He had given me the suggestion of I can't remember the name of the service at the moment, but it essentially acts like, I think, a custom GPT that is specific to my product. So it gets to know all my products. And that way, when you are going through one of my courses, you can interact with it and ask questions about the content, about the lessons and things like that are in there, rather than just passively going through the material. If that's what you're talking about, Travis, it sounds like a really cool idea. If that's not what you're talking about, I'd love to hear what you're talking about. Spill some beans. I believe he is referring to the early preview that I have had of the features coming from HighLevel. Yeah, there's some cool stuff coming. I'm afraid I cannot spill the beans. I'm bound by confidentiality until I think Tuesday next week is Level Up Day. As soon as that is done, I'm going to run and shoot a video for you, and I'll get that video out quickly, and I will send it out to you guys to let you know. But there's some awesome stuff coming as usual. I think one of the most important things, though, that I saw in the discussion that and the materials that they shared with us, I think everybody should be happy to know that there's still just a lot of focus on refinement and on just making the existing platform just easier to use, more intuitive, just smoother, so when a new user comes on board, they're going to be able to get up and running and get value out of it quickly. I think that is so valuable and will increase the stick rate that we have with our customers so much. Every ounce of investment in that, I think, gets a pound of return. So I'm really happy with that. That being said, of course, we have a lot of new stuff coming as well that is sexy and exciting. I believe the number this year was over 300 slides of updates that they're doing. So obviously, I'm not going to try and recap all of that, but I'm going to pick a handful of things that I think in particular are going to be money makers for us, and I'm going to focus on those. Okay. Yeah, it's unbelievable what their development team, though. Varun, the head of technology over there, is just a mad genius. And I think that he has recruited a team of people that have a mindset of just getting after it. And I'm just so impressed by them. Okay, Luke, our 18-year-old with his first client, is asking any tips for getting more clients. Yeah, Luke, I mean, the number one thing, which I'm sure you understand as an 18-year-old, is that the world happens on social media these days, right? Whether it's doing a YouTube live stream like this, or it's content you're seeing on TikTok, Instagram, everybody is tuned in to content on social platforms. That's where they're learning about things. That's where they're getting information about new products and services. And the more of a presence that you have on those platforms, and it doesn't have to be just the ones I mentioned, Facebook, LinkedIn, all those are fair game as well. But the more presence that you can create where you are adding value, you're educating, they're hearing about what your business is doing and why it's doing it. You're telling stories about your customers and their successes. You're sharing the new features and capabilities that are being added that you can use to their advantage. All of that, it should be content and it should be shared. And the more you do that, the more audience you build, the easier sales gets. Okay. Now, I know that takes some time, and I know that patience can be a little thin when you're first getting started. And it's like, okay, I just want to get something done, get some revenue coming in. What I would encourage you to do is spend at least a set amount of time every single day creating and distributing that content. The rest of the time, you've got a handful of options in terms of how to contact business owners. You got email, you got cold calling, you've got direct mail if you want to spend some money on that. You've got going out and just, networking and meeting people and stuff like that. All of those things can work. And you should fill your days with as much of that activity, just making contact with people, as you possibly can. That being said, when you're just getting started like this, there is a commonly used approach. I've got it outlined in some of my training materials. If you're in there, if you get my high-level fast start course, which you can get for free, let me just put the banner real quick on that one, because you can just go and grab that for free. There is a launch. Did that not stay? Hold on real quick. I'll just put the banner in there. Shoot. Okay. Hold on one sec. All right. If you go right there, servicesthatscale.com/fast start, you will be You'll have the opportunity there to just opt in and get my course for free. All kinds of resources in there, including a fast start sales and marketing approach. And I've got some scripts and some emails in there. But essentially what you're going to do is you're going to reach out to a number of people through your personal contacts and say, hey, everybody, I've started this business. Here's what I'm looking for. And the key here is I'm willing to do X amount of work at no cost or at a big discount, whatever you want to do. But to get some proof and to get some testimonials to help me get my business launched. So there's going to be somebody that you know, some sort of personal relationships, friends, family, things like that, that are going to know a business owner that needs some help with marketing. And they're going to say, hey, why don't you talk to this guy? He's willing to bend over backwards to get this business off the ground to help you. And you can also use that as essentially your own social media post, just reaching out to people, reaching out to the community cold, use it in email campaigns to reach out to business owners and just say, hey, we're a new agency. We're getting started. We're looking for 3 businesses here in the area that we can work with to do X, Y, and Z. We're going to do that at no cost for you for the first 60, 90 days, whatever you want to say. In exchange, we're looking for somebody who wants to be a long-term customer and would be willing to be a good testimonial for us if we do a good job. Okay. I have never, ever had any problem coming up with business that way, 1. And 2, once you get just those few under your belt, you're going to have some great testimonials. You're going to have some great experience. You will have more confidence in your ability to sell and knowing that you can help people. So you get that handful of customers going, and then you're off to the races. And again, content, email marketing, social, it all adds up, and there's no one magic thing. It's really just a combination of those things, Luke. Okay. So just get out there and do the hustle. I love it. We'll go high level. Ever let us import full HTML websites directly? That's a great question. I would have to imagine that the answer is yes, but I do not know where that stands on their list of priorities. That is something I will be happy to track down while I'm there in Dallas and have some FaceTime with the team, though. I will ask them about that. Heiko, is that how you say it? Heiko? Cool name. If you had to start all over again with all of your knowledge, would you go all in and go high level, grow to like 7 figures like Everon, or would you use it as a lifestyle business stepping stone to build a media company? Wow. That's a great question. I think the cool thing is, as I contemplate which direction I would say, either of those are perfectly viable with this opportunity. I think that you could build an agency based on high level into the multiple, 7 figures, 8 figures, and have a really nice sellable business or a platform to do acquisitions and grow it even bigger than that. I think that you could grow it into you as the owner plus 1 or 2 virtual assistants and grow that into a $500,000, $750,000, $1 million a year business where you have huge profitability from that. And you're just living a really, really nice lifestyle because the services are super automated. I think you could do that as well. And then you could build a media business, personal brand media, anything that you wanted to do at that point, because I think you'd have great income and cash flow and lifestyle and time. So I think that you could go either route. And I think my answer to this question, so you're saying if I had to start all over again, if I was starting all over again today, which of those routes would I go? I think, and this is purely just because of my personal lifestyle at the moment, I've got 3 kids. I like to spend a lot of time with them. I like to travel a lot. I would probably build the lifestyle business. I think this is a really, really, really good lifestyle business opportunity. And then I would parlay that into, doing a lot of what I'm currently doing, right? I have my local media business here in San Diego. It's very much a lifestyle business. I've got my HighLevel business, very much a lifestyle business. I'm creating content, creating community. This is the combination of things I have going right now is a pretty ideal life and business combination for me. That being said, if you rewind and say, hey, Mike, at late 20s, early 30s, which would you do? It's hard. I probably at that point would be going hard on building the business as big as I could again, just like I did with Everon. I would probably, just really go for it. I think that there is a really nice opportunity, as I said, to create something that is a pretty good size and could give you a good exit, just like I got. So I would probably do that at that stage of my life. Just, at that stage of my life, I didn't have kids yet. I was just about to start a family. And I just wanted to use that time to just grind as much as I possibly could. So I think it's where it's where you're at in your life. And I do think as an entrepreneur, one of the most underappreciated things, although I think it's much more appreciated now than it was when I was, starting my career as an entrepreneur, is knowing yourself and knowing what you want personally out of your business and making that a primary objective of how you design your business. When I was just getting started, I was out in Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley was, similar to what it is probably still today, is that people were just trying to, take moonshots, right? You're just trying to build the biggest damn thing that you possibly could, raise as much venture capital as you could. All anybody cared about was how many shares you had in XYZ, or were you a founder? And if you had a small lifestyle business out there, you were kind of just ignored. You were nothing to an extent. And so in that culture, I played that game. I had a business that I raised venture capital for. I had a bunch of engineers working for me, way, way, way over my head, way over my head. I was in my mid 20s at that point and had raised a bunch of venture capital because I could. Like, if you went with a compelling idea, you could raise a bunch of money and take a moonshot. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think that Silicon Valley is such a beautiful, unique ecosystem that supports that and encourages that. But I did not like it. I really did not like it. And at that time, it kind of proved to me and just, I think, to the public in general, how much waste there is in that model, right? We had the bubble, right? The bubble, the first .com bubble, it popped, and all of a sudden you realize, wow, there's a lot of money and talent chasing some pretty dumb stuff that didn't really have a lot of viability. And it all just kind of exploded and, went away really quickly. I did not like that. I would not do that again. And I learned from that experience, though, that I love entrepreneurship, but I really, really wanted to build something that just created the life that I wanted. It wasn't about going public. It wasn't about having bragging rights to be able to say I created the biggest business or anything like that. I wanted freedom and I wanted cash flow. That's pretty much, those were my criteria. I wanted freedom and I wanted cash flow. I wanted a business that I could operate where I want, when I want, with whom I want, making the decisions that I want. And I wanted a business that generated money from day one and kept generating money so that I wasn't reliant on investors or debt or anything like that. And that feels good to me. It still does to this day. One of the things that I think is a surprise to hear, and I was actually just talking to another entrepreneur about this last week. One of the most stressful periods of my life was right after I sold my business. And the reason why is all of a sudden I had more money in the bank than I ever had in my life by a long shot, but I didn't have cash flow, right? I was used to having a business that was generating millions of dollars a year in recurring revenue every year. And all of a sudden that was no longer mine. And that caused me anxiety, because now when I'm looking at this pile of cash in my bank account, the way it felt to me was, well, now there's nowhere for that to go but down. I no longer had the cash flow to make sure that I was at least holding that steady or growing it. And so it was a really, that was a really anxious time for me. I have a saying that I've said for 20 years, that is, my idea of heaven is a privately owned, cash flow positive business. And there's just so much truth to that for me. And it like gives me peace. It lowers my blood pressure, allows me to sleep at night when I know I've got that recurring revenue and that cash flow coming in. So know yourself, know the risks that you're willing to take, know what outcome ultimately you'll be most proud of. Is it having a little more maybe balance in your life and spending more time with your family and things like that? Or is it, no, I want to spend 120 hours at the office and try and be the next Elon Musk? There's no right or wrong. It's knowing you and knowing what you want. So I hope that helps. I know that was a long answer, but Luke, what do you think is the best thing to sell on Go High Level? There's so many things that you can sell, it gets overwhelming. Yeah, Luke, it's a great question. So I've got kind of a two approach or two phase answer to that. So one is getting your foot in the door, right? So getting that initial sale. When it comes to getting your foot in the door, you want to pick the things that are most easily understood. You can price them low enough that it can be just a very spontaneous decision. They're easily marketed, and they're easily delivered at high margins so that you can afford to do this, right? So I love doing free websites. And if you're not familiar with my videos or anything about how to do free websites, the website design is free, but then you're charging for hosting and access to some of the basic features of High Level on a monthly basis after that. So you're generating that recurring revenue cash flow. I love the conversation AI features of High Level, particularly just the easy one to get started, because it doesn't require as much setup and it doesn't require as much faith by your customer. Is just doing the chat, the conversation chat, so that conversation AI chat features, so that you could set up a chat widget on their site and have people asking questions and getting answers. All of the conversation AI capabilities are amazing, but that's an easy one as a foot in the door. Some reputation stuff can be a nice, easy foot in the door. These are all things, though, to just get that initial sale. And then there's your core offer, which is the thing that ultimately is going to drive your profitability. And that is what you're going to upsell as many of those people to as you can. And that core offer, in my opinion, should be what I call a system. So just to explain that a little bit more, if you were selling just the high level tools and you're saying, hey, customer, just log in and use the tools. You now have a funnel builder, go in and build funnels, right? That's selling tools. The majority of small businesses do not want to sit down with a platform like High Level and learn how to build funnels. That's not what they're doing. They're plumbers, they're pizza shop owners, whatever, they're hairstylists. So that is tools. That's good for some businesses, not the majority of them. The far other end of the spectrum is what I call true agency services. And agency services I define as you're selling your time and your talent. Okay, so that's much more of a traditional approach where you're saying, we're going to do these projects for you on some sort of hourly basis. We're going to come up with creative campaigns for you each month and test those and all that. Typical agency services, those need to be priced in the multiple thousands of dollars a month at a minimum, or you'll never really get ahead. Again, not that many small businesses are going to go that route because of the cost. Right in between is what I call a marketing system. A marketing system is where you take those high-level tools, you take some of your knowledge and creativity about marketing and how it's done well, and you bake that into a system that you can turn on for your customers. So instead of them having to build their own funnels, you say, hey, your business should have these 4 funnels. I've got them built, tested, customized for you, all ready to go. You should have these 5 follow-up sequences. I've got them all written, structured, lined up, automated, ready to go. You should have a website that's got these 8 features to capture new leads and encourage people to come into your business. It's already designed. I've already got the features. So you can just take that system and turn it on. And now they've got a complete marketing system in a box kind of that you've just activated for them, rather than, again, them having to go in and try and build that themselves with the tools. Again, I call that a marketing system. The system is a combination of tools, campaign assets, your knowledge, all of that into one thing. That's ultimately what you want to sell. And so you can design a pretty generic system that can be applied to just about any business. Like I have my R6 approach. I can take my R6 approach and I can say, hey, this is how marketing works. And I can sit down with any business and I can build a marketing system for them really quickly using that. But if you're going after, say, a particular industry, hairstylists, then it becomes really easy because every hairstylist really needs the exact same stuff, right? So you design that perfect marketing system for hairstylists once, and now every new customer that you bring on board, you're just turning on the system. Very, very little customization for each customer. It becomes super efficient and super profitable. So that is ultimately the core offer that you want to sell. The foot in the doors are little splinter pieces of that total system. So if somebody buys one of your foot in the doors, they're happy with it, and you say, yes, that's one of the components of our complete marketing system. Do you mind if I take a few minutes to walk you through our complete marketing system so you can see how it could benefit your business? And then you're going to get a percentage of people that upsell into that. That is priced anywhere between $297 and $997 a month. It's recurring. It's super, super high margin because it's based off of the HighLevel software platform. And it's just a great model from that point forward of, again, just recurring revenue cash flow, which, as I told you, is what I'm all about. Shannon, hey, Shannon, just getting started with Go HighLevel, attempting to onboard a few friends and family customers. How much of a window do you recommend between onboarding and recurring fees kick in to try and expedite onboarding? So Shannon, what I teach is that we do what we call a surge to SaaS. So if SaaS is their system as a service, that's, again, my language there, not software as a service, but system as a service, that marketing system as a service. If you say that the kickoff of them actually using that system is on, day 1, and day 1 is when you would start billing them for the recurring of that. So there would be some sort of training and then a kickoff where you would say, okay, we're going to walk you through the system. We're going to show you the core features that you're going to be interacting with. Here's how you get help when you need it, but great, you're off to the races. That's when we start billing, okay? Depending on the complexity of what you're setting up before that, we call that the surge. So we're doing the surge of setup and work and customization for this customer so that when we get to that kickoff day, the system is like complete and designed for them and ready to use. It's got their branding, their messaging, all that has been dialed in. Depending on what exactly is in your system, that could take, I would say the approach I like to recommend is somewhere between 2 weeks and 30 days. I would say the far majority can be done in like that 2-week mark. Once you know at all really what you're doing with HighLevel and snapshots and all that good stuff, you can get that done over 2 weeks. So 2 weeks time. And that's not just all you just doing work behind the scenes. Think about like, you've got to collect some information from your new customer. You've got to build what you're going to build. You're probably going to have a feedback round or two with your primary contact there at the customer, just to get some input on, certain things and make some adjustments. And then you're going to have a scheduled kickoff with them and their team. Okay. So 2 weeks, you got a lot going on there. And like I said, it could be 2 weeks to 30 days. That window is typically what I would expect. So sign somebody up and I would tell them, hey, here's our proposed kickoff date. You guys agree to a date that's 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, whatever it is. And you communicate to them, okay, great. Here are the milestones, the key milestones to make sure that we can hit that kickoff date, which is we need this information from you. We're going to do our build. We need a call scheduled to show you the V1 and do some revisions. We need a call scheduled to take you and just the management through the system. And then we're going to kick it off with your employees as well, something like that. So you would get all of that kind of scheduled on the calendar in advance. And again, depending on what all you're doing, somewhere between 2 weeks and 30 days is what I expect. Okay. But when we kick them off, we start the billing. 4 stories need your attention. Some files are not available. Okay, Alvin, we will check into that. Hold on 1 second. Let me just shoot a message to my team. All right, we'll be on it. Carlos says, start with the leanest, fastest version of your offer and build out from there based on client feedback and validation. Yes, that is a great recommendation. Yes. Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Carlos, thank you for saying that, because I do want to stress that. When I say, building this system, this marketing system, if you take my R6 snapshot, you've got a system. If you take just a handful of components of that and put it together, you've got a system. You do not need to, before your first customer comes on board, to go sit in the laboratory for the next 6 months and try and create the perfect system. Okay. You just need to have an idea of what you're going to put together for this customer, especially your first handful of customers. And then when you've signed the customer, you jump in and you get your butt to work and you work real hard and put together the best V1 version of that you possibly can. And then you get feedback. Just like Carlos said, you get feedback and you refine it. Okay. Facebook ads change. Will there be an updated video on setup for ads? Alvin, I think so. Facebook ads change all the time. So when there is a significant change, I will update it. In my opinion, I don't think that there has been a significant update. Maybe you can tell me what you think is significant. But I still run ads every day, and to me, there's not really a difference other than they named a couple of things a little bit differently. And they're using more of their AI to help you, with creatives and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's pretty much just the exact same thing that it's been for years now. But if you let me know if there's like a specific feature or something that you're referring to, let me know and I'm happy to take a look. Digital Maestro says, we have current website clients in all different fields. What is the best way or course I should review to sell them a HighLevel account? I know that's a broad question. No, that's a great question. I think, okay, so hold on, just go back to Alvin's question. No, the view on the way I set up everything has not changed at all. Alvin, I still do the exact same thing that I've been doing for years. It hasn't changed one bit. So this is a great question. So Digital Maestro, what I would recommend is that, so the far majority of small business websites, as you probably already know, are just kind of brochures online, right? They don't have much actual marketing functionality to them. I mean, if you go to 100 small business websites, you're probably not going to interface with a chat. You're probably not going to get exit pops asking for you to opt in. You're probably not going to find opt-in opportunities baked in throughout the website, right? So what you want to do is introduce the conversation to them that your website should be perhaps your most powerful marketing asset, but it's got to have these X features. Every small business website should have these X features. And I say X because you could, whatever's you think is most advantageous to you and also helpful to them, depending on the industries that you're dealing with. That could be 7, 8, 10 things that every website should have to make it a functioning part of your marketing system. And those features are perfect high-level features, right? You should have an online booking calendar. You should have exit pops. You should have a live chat. You should have a call tracking number. You should have whatever. So you're introducing them that, hey, this website should be a functional marketing engine for you, not just a brochure. And then that leads perfectly into HighLevel, obviously. Okay. Latest birthday campaign assets are the ones in HLA. Yes, Sean. Good to see you, sir. All right, Dawson, my man. Yes, sir. How you doing, bud?
Good. How about you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you. Give us the update.
So today, I ordered my canvas yesterday, so I have an 8x10 canvas of a train. I
Nice.
custom made it for a customer. So I will drop that off today and get paid for it.
Awesome.
I was told to have a meeting at the art gallery today because the one in another city, he wanted to meet me. So we met. We had a great conversation the other day, and he wants to. The person at the art gallery wants to introduce me to other people from the other surrounding cities, so I can get some contacts in there.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Getting it
Yeah,
done.
getting it done. Okay, so I got that. I
So
ordered that.
what have you learned? What are your biggest takeaways from this whole experience so far?
It's that I would before I would do that, I would think about, okay, how much does this cost specifically? Do I need to go to this specific vendor? I was too detail oriented, I guess.
Mm.
It's obviously important when you ramp up the speed, but in order to kind of get the thing going, it just take the action. I might not pick the right supplier right away. I might not pick the right specific canvas right away, or even the specific size, but I have to go through the actions to put the pieces together to do it.
Yeah, that's a great lesson. One of the things that Tony Robbins talks about, one of his phrases that he talks about, he calls it the tyranny of how. And he says one of the things that stops people from taking action on their goals and accomplishing their goals is that the first question that they ask once they create the goal is how.
Mm.
And he said that that's the worst question you can ask because it usually ends up in you getting stuck in details that prevent you from taking the action that are is necessary to even make those details even relevant, right? It's not relevant exactly who you're using to supply the frame until you've gone out and sold customers and there's actual demand for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you have that demand, once you have that sell, you can find solutions to fulfilling it, and those solutions will improve over time. Nothing happens until a sale is made, right? In business, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say. Nothing happens until a sale is made. So oftentimes, as I was talking about earlier with this creation of the system, it's so easy to get bogged down in how. And so we've got to be careful to make sure that we're not letting that cause procrastination or even just lack of speed. Speed is so important in business these days. So yeah, it's good awareness.
Yes, I kept in touch with the customer, and everything's looking well so far.
Good, man.
So I'll get that done before the end of the day.
Love it.
Yeah, systems are important because like ultimately I'll have I'll do this a few times to get the hang of it, because I'll get to the exhibition in a moment. Is to have a tiered system of online photos, and I rank them depending on if I want to have them at the higher part or the middle part or the lower part, and then I'll have ready content for that specific tier. So I
Nice.
don't have to worry about oh, this is my best stuff and I'm giving it away for. So I'll have it at certain sections, but I'll still provide value in a brief nutshell.
Love it.
But um, this putting these pieces together will help me set up for my art show on November 7th. So I'll be at the gallery on November 7th. I'll have my own show. We're gonna have a DJ and music and free food, free pizza.
Love it.
We're gonna get like 30 to 50 people in the show, and I'm gonna have some prints ready there and some canvases so people can look around. And I'll have my event. It'll be my event.
That's fantastic, man. I love it.
So I think
Hosting your own event, hosting your own party, whatever it is, I think is maybe one of the single best ways to kickstart anything. It creates momentum. It gets people together. People have a good time. It's a great opportunity. I love it.
so. The gallery has all the costs covered, except for like my building materials and my time. But they have the costs covered, and so when I get there, there'll be a team there, and they'll help me get that set up. So
Nice.
I've been able to be a production assistant on some like rock shows and play drums and help out with be a sound guy. So not totally the host of a show, but I've got more experience now, and I've worked alongside with some of the coordinators there in the past. So I think it should go well.
Good,
Which
man.
this is the second canceled meeting I was supposed to have to do a practice run to set everything up. So I'll just have to spend more time on the scheduling, and I'll just show up there and work with some of the assistants and
That's
see what I
good.
can do.
That's awesome, man. You got this. You got
Yeah,
this.
thanks.
What are you doing to promote it?
Okay, what am I doing to promote it? So I think once or twice a week, I'll go to networking events. I just went to like probably three. I missed one this morning, but I went to three this week. And then on LinkedIn, I'll post like a poster, say, here's a
Mhm.
poster of my event, come on by. And then I'll just local radio. Did a show Fridays at noon. I'll talk about my events Fridays at noon to local internet radio, broadcast around the world, but called Niagara. So the
Yeah,
Niagara.
they're tuning in. Yeah.
And then just remember to tell friends and family along the way.
Well, don't just remember to tell friends and family. Set up like an Evite invitation or something like that, and get that sucker out the door to as many people as you can. Everybody that you meet, everybody that you know, put them all in there and invite them through that. So that way you've got a nice invitation that goes out the door.
Hmm. It's more of I did like a verbal one or over message one, but I could spruce it up a little bit, make it more
Yeah.
official.
Yeah. The thing is that um, you should never underestimate how hard it is to get somebody to physically leave wherever they're at and go to a thing. Like, so it just requires lots of follow-up and reminders and things like that. And so the great thing with an Evite or some other similar approach to that is that it's going to remind them pretty regularly leading up to the event. Hey, you've got this, event coming up. So it's just a good best practice to make sure that you're staying in front of them leading up to the event.
And I host biweekly lunch and learns, and sometimes people show up and sometimes people don't. But I always make sure I keep like I remember what I was going to talk about and practice the spiel and um,
It's
be on
good.
top of best practices. But yeah, you're definitely right. The follow ups, the reminders, the different formats of picture or calling, but
Yep.
mostly just those evites and those RSVPs and confirmations are definitely important.
Yeah. Good, man. I love it. Keep it up.
So yeah, thanks so much. That was a good. You answered some questions earlier. I've been tuned in and definitely take some notes. So
Awesome.
and the house is looking a bit better there. So I'm glad things are more settled in.
It's getting there. It's getting there. We still got a lot of work to do, but it's fun.
Okay, have yourself a good afternoon. Thanks so
Thanks,
much.
buddy. You too. Take
Okay,
care.
bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's see here. Do missed call text back work on their current number, or do we need to purchase a number for them to use? Alvin, you have to purchase a number for them to use. Yeah, so what you can do is with their current number, because a lot of businesses don't want to give up their current number, you can just forward the calls from that number to the new missed call text back number. And then that way, effectively, they will both be working. But yeah, you need to get a new number because it's got to be a number that's based off of Twilio or similar technology, which you can provision directly in HighLevel using their particular version of that. But that gives you the capability to then use the number integrated with HighLevel to get that missed call text back functionality. Okay. Yes. Spread the word. Absolutely. That's the most important. Awesome. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? Let me know if you got any more. Put them in. Otherwise, we will start to wrap up here. But any questions that you have, go ahead and fire them in. And once again, I look forward to seeing anybody and everybody who will be at the HighLevel Summit. It's going to be a fantastic event. And for anybody who can't make it, don't worry. There's going to be a recap coming out. I will do some videos, and then following, we'll have office hours so that we can have a conversation about what I learned there. Can you please provide the order of courses to review and services that scale for an existing agency starting with HighLevel? Yes, great question. So if you are an existing agency, I would ask you first, do you have a model that you are particularly excited about that gives you recurring revenue, gives you margins, gives you scalability, and you're just using HighLevel to try and make more of that offer more automated, make more of that model more automated and efficient, that type of thing? Or are you saying, hey, Mike, I understand this digital marketing stuff and I've been working with customers and I have, customers, but I'm time and talent. I am burning out. I'm not making as much money as I thought. Every time I get a new customer, my headaches increase too. Which one of those versions are you in? Because that would change the approach that I would tell you to take. So if you could share that with me, we team of 4 have that in place. HighLevel to help grow even more and serve our clients and new clients. Okay. So it sounds like you're saying, hey, I like my model. I'm doing great. Then what I would recommend that you do is just jump into my HighLevel Fast Start. Okay. The HighLevel Fast Start will give you an overview of capabilities of HighLevel. We'll give you an overview of some of my key business strategies and approaches and things like that. Some of the most important metrics that you need to track in your business to make sure that you're really on track to be able to scale and grow profitably. And then what I would recommend to you is that you go into my courses based on what it is that you feel like is the most important gap at your business currently. So maybe you need a better sales process, go into my R6 training. Maybe you need to learn how to run local Facebook ads better, go into that. I have all kinds of training courses that are based on particular topics. And so it really depends on which of those topics you feel like is the bottleneck for your business. I'm going to go look at the website real quick and just recommend. So there's the Growth Accelerator as well. Since you're a business that, you've got some momentum, you got some team, and you're looking to really grow that, I would look at the Growth Accelerator. The Growth Accelerator is some of my favorite tools and practices to help any business grow. It's got what I call my growth operating system and my predictable growth formula in there. And any business can take that and apply it. So I would go through those resources for sure. If you said that you wanted to get like really serious about taking your existing services that you have, I don't know what you're offering. Let's say you have some excellent video editing service. You're a video editing agency. And you're saying, we do that though too much kind of customized, and I really want to turn that into a productized service so that I can really sell this more easily and scale it. I would then go through MSP Academy. Okay, MSP Academy. But I got to say that that's like an MBA in how to create productized services. It's very deep and thorough. It could take you a good long time to go through it. It's got a bunch of like consulting level frameworks, like MBA level, frameworks in there. It's a very meaty course that you only need that and need to go through that if, like I said, if you are really serious about, hey, I want to take the time to make sure that I'm really thoughtfully designing my service packages and thinking about high level then can be used to deliver those, I would say MSP Academy. Otherwise, like I said, go through High Level Fast Start, go through my growth course, Growth Accelerator, and then pick and choose what you need from that point forward. Okay, it wouldn't be so much that there's an order to it. All right. Looking forward to your recap. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm excited to go check things out. Awesome. All right, gang. It doesn't look like there's any more questions. Thank you so much, as always, for being here and for being a part of my community. I love it. Perfect. Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome. Well, I hope that those help you, and please let me know any questions. I look forward to hearing about your continued success. That's awesome. Again, everybody, thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you for your business. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. I hope you got some value out of it. I will see you after the High Level Summit, and also during that High Level Summit, I will be communicating via content on social media and sending out emails and things like that. So stay tuned in, and I will do my best to keep you tuned in into all the things that we're learning and discovering there. Okay. We will see you on the future office hours call. If you have any questions in between now and then, please post them in our community, and myself or my team will get right back to you. Okay. Take care. We'll talk real soon. Bye-bye.